meal timing, what food you should and shouldn't eat, why you're feeling low on energy, why you may be crashing and burning out really quickly, and why it's hard to sustain a diet or even continue and actually get the results. And of course, the question I love, which is, can I lose weight without, working out in the gym? Now, I got a question from one guy particularly, which you can do too if you want to ask these questions and you get these answered. Okay, down below is the link. Sign up, 7-day free trial. I'll still answer your question. If you cancel, just go in there, ask your question, and I'll get deep to the question, to the answer, to the question, to the answer. So, this guy asks, he says, basically, to sum it up, because it's a long question, I'll go through it all. This guy's been working out hard. He's put in a lot of effort. He's got his wife, which was having some issues. She was in hospital, kids. So basically, he's got a lot on his hands. He's got a job which requires him to drive around a lot. And he's really struggling to sort of, find out what food he should eat and what he shouldn't. And he feels like he's burning out quickly, and he might burn out very soon. He's been going on jogs in the past few days. He's been pushing himself. He's been exercising. It's been 5 days since. But, he wants to know how to actually make sure he can continue this and get the ball rolling. By the way, I hope you like my microphone. My other one's screwed up. And so here we are, now looking like a news reporter. I'm kidding. I'm just compensating. All right. So, in simple terms, let's start off with biting the bullet. Now, you told me, first of all, bro, well done. Actually, I want to just say well done, man, because you're putting in a lot of effort. You're jumping the gun, man. You're putting your energy in there, and you're doing what it takes, okay? Now, I just want to mention one thing. By the sounds of it, if you're mentioning the whole burnout thing, maybe, just maybe, you're pushing too hard. And you're trying to do too much, and so you're eating too little. Because if you're feeling low on energy, I'm going to go and guess that you're trying to get results real quick, okay? And one thing about results, guys, is that how do I put this? You've taken so much time and effort to become the person that you are now that you want to change, okay? So in order to change and be the person you want to be, all you need to do is put at least just a fraction of the patience that you put into all the eating, all the unhealthy habits to become who you are now, so that you can actually become the person you want to be. Does that make sense? Just a fraction of that patience into the exercise, into eating healthy, into learning what to do, and things are going to change big time. Okay, now, I want to stress, you're on the road a lot, you said, and you're struggling what to make for the right options. Okay, so this is why I talk so massively on education for meal prep, okay? This is why I made the course in meal prep on the website, because I think that if you don't have meals prepared in front of you already, then you are literally setting yourself up for failure, because you're going to drive by all the foods which are unhealthy. There's not going to be some, amazing chef on the side which is going to cook you a high nutrition dense food without preservatives or rubbish. It's going to be KFC, McDonald's, Red Rooster, Hungry Jack's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a pizza, all these things. You're not going to make the right choice. You're hungry. When you're hungry, you're made to choose anything and everything that's going to go into your mouth. So you're not there to think about the goal. Okay? So I always talk about meal prep. First, if you can, have 2 days ahead of you prepared. So if today's Monday, have Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday meals in the fridge. So if you're on the road, bro, I'd like you to bring some food with you, okay? Now, foods are sitting there with you in an esky, and when you're hungry, pit stop, pull over, use a microwave, warm up your food, but you've now got your healthy options, okay? Because you said you were snacking a lot, and you would be snacking because you're hungry, you don't have good options with you. If you snack on nuts or chips, mate, you just put down so many calories without even knowing it, and the equation to weight loss is eating less than your body requires, okay? Either eating less or burning more energy than your body needs to stay where it is. So let me explain that really quickly, that conversion, because everything else will make a lot more sense. Let's say your body requires 2,000, you're a big guy, you told me about 130 kg. Let's say your body requires about 2,500 calories to stay exactly where it is and not change. Now let's think of those calories as energy. So if you eat 2,500 calories worth of energy and exercise, then you're technically burning your weight and your stored fat because you've eaten that much, but then you're still moving. So your body has to remove some of that and use that energy from storage. Makes sense? Now, if you eat less than 2,500 calories worth of energy and you ate 2,000, that 500 gap of calories of energy, your body has to also replace and say, I'm going to have to get that energy from my storage, okay, which is energy, which is fat. And so that's how you burn fat, okay, either by eating less or moving more. Now, this is why it's important to understand, okay, so if you have bad foods with you, you're just going to eat more. It doesn't matter if you jog, you are going to be higher in calories, you're not going to lose weight. So it's about being strategic. You don't have to work out with weights, and we'll get to that at the end. Now, we spoke about that already. So how do you make the right choices? Okay, we want to think about foods. You want to think about protein, carbs, and fats in your meals. Now, I talk about it. I'll make a video on endomorph, ecto, and mesomorph. You have to find out what body type you are, okay? You can even go on YouTube and type it in, but I'll probably make a video and I'll chuck that in the description section. In fact, I do have a slight description on that on my website when you go to the meal prep section. I believe it's on episode number 4, series 4. Don't quote me on it. And then you'll find out how much protein, carbs, and fats your body needs for your requirements. But right now, just a simple calculation is, the most universal is 40% protein, 30% carbs, and 30% fats. Okay, think of protein as refueling your muscles, okay, and recovering your muscles. It's got so many uses in the body. Think of carbs as your energy, more of a higher burst energy, okay, so things like running, things like, doing some maybe heavy lifting. Think of fats as, an energy source also, which is also feeding the brain, and also like, walking every day, cleaning the house, stuff like that. So if you're low on any of those, bro, you're talking about burning out. If you're low on any of those, then your body's energy is going to be dipping. You're going to feel low on energy, you're going to feel crappy, you're not really getting what you need. So you really want to make sure that you're eating enough of each. If you have too little carbs, you're not really going to have much energy. If you have too little fats, you're also not going to have much energy. And so the protein side is always a staple. We just decide, okay, do I have less carbs? Do I have more? Do I have more fats? Do I have less? So it's important to understand that if you have too little though, okay, if you now go for that 2,500 calorie maintenance and you say, you know what, Jez, I'm going to lose way more weight than you think I am. I'm going to eat 1,500 calories for the day. And so then you cut out way too much, you go too extreme, and now your body doesn't have enough of the nutrients it needs from foods, because that's what it needs. Okay, and you'll see it in my food nutrients section on the episodes. Food provides your body nutrients, and so if you don't eat enough of it, you're only going to create damage. Okay, you're gonna actually lower your metabolism by not eating enough. You're going to then signal your brain that you're not getting enough food in, and so hunger, cravings are going to spike way up, and guess what's going to go down? Not your weight, your motivation. You may actually lose weight in the beginning and you'll drop because you're going too low on calories, but then it's going to halt and slow down, and you're only going to hurt yourself more in the future. So if you keep eating too little, too consistently, then you're actually going to stuff everything up and slow it all down, okay? Instead, we want to think about not reducing too much, okay? So go on MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, all these sorts of apps where you can log in what food you're eating. And nowadays there's got barcodes. You just scan the barcode, mate, and you know what you're eating, and you see how many calories you're having. You put in there what your weight is, your height is, and it says this is the average amount of calories you should be having. And then you just sort of follow that guide for 2-3 weeks, and you start to figure out and say, well, what am I eating? Okay, how much of that is protein, carbs, and fats, and where can I change it? And that's why I created the whole website, by the way, so that you can understand and learn what are proteins, what are carbs, what are fats, which ones are good, which one should I choose? Because you were saying, what food should I choose, right? High nutrient dense foods are real foods. Anything in a packet is more than likely processed. Processed doesn't provide nutrients. That is not high quality food. High quality nutrients is going to give you high quality energy, high quality performance. Okay, so we want to think about red meats. Fantastic. White meat's alright too, okay, but all chicken and broccoli, throw that out the window. It's garbage. Absolute garbage, okay? I'm not saying chicken and broccoli, the ingredients are garbage, but that whole diet of nothing but chicken and broccoli and fish. Okay, that's the old school. Man, I'm certain bullets in here. So when you get onto this diet, mate, just, when you get onto this lifestyle change, I should say, just think about you transforming yourself and how do you feel good from food? Think about food as, how do I feel good when I eat this? Do I feel good? Do I feel bad? And that is the ultimate question that I use with everyone. Okay? Does this food help me or does it hurt me? And when you can answer that and be conscious and aware of it, every time you eat something, you know and say, that's probably not very high quality. I know how I'm going to feel. Okay? So, in terms of meal time, you said, should I eat morning, midday, or later in the night? Now, later at night time, everyone says, hey, don't eat late at night. Yes, it's true. Couple reasons. First, I don't want you to eat a lot late at night, because if you're eating less than 2 hours before bedtime, you're going to have a full stomach, hungry stomach, that's why you eat. Full stomach, you're then going to go to bed, and your digestive system's still working, you have a shitty sleep, and it just ruins everything. The next day you're hungry, and everything just falls into crap, okay? So we don't want much food at night time, not because, hey, I'm not moving and I'm not burning calories, okay? Remember, it's the entire day of calories that you eat. That's what matters, that 2,500 mark, which was your example. But if you are, going to bed with a full stomach, then you're going to actually set yourself up for failure for the next day. So the best way is to really think about evenly spreading it out. Now, morning is always a good time to have a great meal. You want to think about how you can start off your day with good nutrition, okay, high quality food that's going to fuel you for the day. And so I'm not fussed whether you eat more than or for lunch or for dinner. Again, the game is at dinner we don't eat too much, because if we go to bed with a full stomach. Now the rule behind that is 3 hours before bedtime without eating. That's the most ideal, and at minimum 2. So don't worry too much about saying, I ate too much for lunch or for breakfast or whatever it may be. Think about what you're having for the total day, break it up nice and evenly, and with meal timing, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't have the meals spread too far apart, because if you do, you're going to be hungry in between meals. And if you're too hungry in between meals, again, the grizzly bear comes out and you just want to eat anything and everything that comes in your way. Alright, so you want to think about, hey, okay, that's a pretty appropriate time in between. So let's say 9 a.m. is breakfast, just rough schedule, okay? 9 a.m. is breakfast or 8 a.m. is breakfast, and then I'll probably have a snack around 10:30. 1 o'clock, I'm going to have a meal. I might have another snack depending on how I go, depending on the time of dinner. So if dinner's at 6 o'clock, then I might have another snack at about 4. Alright, small in between, so it's always about thinking how to get to another meal without being starving and hungry, and that's where the meal prep comes in. You've already got that meal in the fridge, it's ready to go. You've already got snacks, you know what to eat, carrot, hummus, some nuts, whatever it may be, some Greek yogurt. And so that way, you're planned ahead, and that's really important. Last, can you lose weight without the resistance weights? Without going to the gym? Absolutely, mate, absolutely. So, doing your jogging and doing your running is already going to be very beneficial, just for the fact of movement. Not because I think the calories are going to be extra crazy or anything like that. Now, there's many, many benefits to working out with weights. Huge benefits to working out with weights. Okay, you're going to end up having a much better body by the end of it, because your body is going to be a lot different compared to someone that does work out or that doesn't work out and loses the weight by simply doing cardio and eating well. Whereas the person that has worked out with weights will have the muscle behind it, will look, a lot better because of their proportion in the body. So it's not just about weight, it's about how the body looks with the end product, right? I call it the end product. We are all sculpting ourselves, aren't we? And if we think about it, okay, I want to let you know that I actually lost my first 50 kilos with just walking. Not to say that the walking, I did a crazy amount of walking. The point was food. Okay, walking was good to get me moving, to get, circulation, all those sorts of things. But the most important part of all of that was the fact that I was eating good and I was eating less calories than my body needed. So my body was tapping into its fat stores and using fat, rather than using the food because I ate too much of it. And so I think it's really simple, man. Like, the equation still comes back down to the same thing. How much are you eating? Are you eating enough? Meaning that it is below your calories and it's not too little, okay? So that's where it comes down to. If you are eating too little again, energy's going to dip. Everything's going to feel crap. And so you want to really make sure, my bro, you're thinking about high quality foods, okay? Everything in the fresh food aisle section. Okay, we want to think about eating enough protein, enough carbs, enough fats. You want to think about, okay, how can I get my meals ready for me? So meal prepping. And you want to think about when you're going to eat, what times are you going to set in the day. So maybe if you know you're driving at this time, you're going to have it at, you know, such and such time. And prepare some healthy snacks with you, mate. Again, I said some before, so bring some carrots with you in the car and hummus. Bring some little tubs of Greek yogurt with you. You know, I like to bring boiled eggs sometimes, as funny as that may sound. But whatever it is that you find gels with you, mate, and that way you've got some things on the go and handy so that you don't have to make those bad decisions. And honestly, that's going to be a massive change for you. So, I hope that answers your question. Now, if you've got more questions, you can ask down below. And of course, anyone can ask me these questions. If you want an in-depth answer to the questions that you have, okay, go down in the link below. Click on there, you've got a 7-day free trial, which you can cancel at any time, by the way, and you simply ask me your questions, okay? Ask me a question, and I'm going to come on, I'm going to make a video, I'm going to answer it for you, and I'm hoping that it's enough to really give you what it is you need. But remember, we're all about community, and so we're all about growing, so whatever I teach you, whatever you learn from this video, all I ask is that you teach one person and pass this on, okay? Pass one thing that you taught, you know, that you've learned from me and teach someone else, because you may be the person that's got the message for someone that they need to hear. All right, much love. We'll be keeping in touch, and ciao for now.